My name's Isaac, better known as Izzy The Bricky, and this week we sent up 2 extensions to DPC level despite having a minor setback. You're watching the next instalment of Izzy The Bricky Weekly. Yeah, boy. We are back on the job we started last week. All we're doing today is laying all of our brickwork on the exterior up to finished floor level, which I've already set out with my laser. We've got 5 courses to put on everywhere, about 350 bricks. Then we're going to be setting out all of the internal cavity walls, 150mm cavity. Everything's up to date with the new regulations, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit when I'm going to go over setting out the finished floor level, which is slightly lower than our DPC level. Well, I saw you setting the mood like a light, smoking room, dancing with the blues like a disco groove, catching every eye. But I saw you looking at me with a smile. We've got both sides of the extension now up to finished floor level and DPC level. What we need to bear in mind that we're having a timber floor. We're leaving it 7 inches lower than this level here, which is DPC and finished floor level. 7 inches because 6 inches to allow for a nice big timber, and then an extra inch to allow for laminate or whatever sort of flooring they're having inside. So we've just gone round, measured down to here. In a little while I'm going to do the exact same thing over there, but in the meantime I'm just setting up my internal wall here before I set out our doorway here, which I'll go over in a little bit.
Breathe you like a cigarette, lovesick, I'm feeling it. You're not the one, but I still want you like the beat in my chest. Lovesick, I'm feeling it. I know you're not the one, but I still wanna light up.
From face brickwork, we're having 1m200 to our front door, which is going to be here. So what I need now is a lintel from this point to this point here. And all this brickwork just returns round, goes across, and then returns back around. 4 steps up to the front door, which is just there. Let's go get a 1200 lintel, which is going to be 140 thick. So nice big sturdy thing. We ain't got that here, so I'm going to run to Juice's, go get it. Overall, really decent day. Put in a proper good shift. Honestly, I thought we'd be done early, but there was a lot more brick in this here, and obviously making sure it's nice and square, parallel, level, just a lot of messing about with the level. But overall, really decent day. Next time we come, we're going to be doing a load of infill in there, chopping out some of the air vents and ending up the superstructure as well. Cast your mind back to last episode. We were on this job, digging out the footings, pouring the concrete and doing all the drainage. Today we're going to be here taking delivery of all the materials for the job and setting out the footings. This job's on a really weird road right at the end of a cul-de-sac with no parking, so we're here really early today to take delivery. Yeah, so once those materials turn up and get them round, we'll start getting set up, all the block work, brickwork, get all the height set and all the lines. So what I've done, I've taken our finished floor level from the inside of the house, gone round, transferred that to all of the exterior brickwork just for a gauge, so I can work down everywhere where our extensions are going to be, because we've got obviously an extension on the back and then a separate extension on this side, so just lots of working out. But the wall behind me is all going to be taken down, so the level needs to run through all at the same height. So what I do when I set extensions out, I find my plumb lines and everything like that, and I throw big screw into the wall, put my line on that, I've squared from this existing wall here, ran it all the way, got it square from a corner block there to that wall, and then I've crossed that with this one here. This is measuring at 2 meters 920 mil, and now I've squared this, cast my line over there. I've also measured back from there to there. Everything is square and bang on. Just need to make sure that my face brickwork here misses that guttering. Hopefully it does, and then we'll finally get laying.
I've been contemplating all my time. My thoughts make me tired just running through my...
Always hard to start a building when every wall you're trying to come off is at square. So, a bit of thinking this morning, but we're getting there. So we've got some break and then crack on.
I need a new purpose. I'm looking for so much more. Don't leave me here searching. You're just what I'm longing for. When times are getting crazy and everything seems hazy, is there some place for safety I can go? Run away into your escape.
Overall, not a bad day, but must admit I am slightly disappointed I didn't get the entire job, both skins up, because in terms of quantity there's not much, but I must admit setting out this extension has been quite difficult. Everything's out of square. There's obviously this extension here isn't in line with the existing house. Everything's out of square. I can't even show you or try and get across on camera how twisted things are. So I've been triple checking all day, but you know, I'd rather triple check and take my time than have to redo something.
One day later.
Morning. So we are back on the job we completed a couple of days ago. Now we set this out and built the entire extension, and then once the extension was built, I received the drawings with the measurements on. The architect finally sent them over, and all I want to do really is push over this wall here 150 mil. I set it out to the best of my ability, left a nice gap in between the neighbour's side there, which is glass, so when we're building overhand we can still point up nicely, but if we was to move it over 150 mil we'll just have a bit more room in the kitchen. So I'm quickly whip that down and then shove it over 150 mil if it works bond, and then get it rebuilt back up. So you know, just one of them. Yeah, let's get stuck in. Right, there we go. So we are all cleaned up back to the original footing. What I've been able to do, obviously 150 mil don't work bond, so that would leave us with a half and a queen's closure. I've been able to nudge the line over even more because the footing is really wide, because we kept having cave-ins. Footing's really wide, so I've been able to put the footing over about 210 mil, which obviously 225 is a brick with a perp. So what I might have to do, where I've toothed out there, nudge that corner back 10 mil, and then we are good to go. So we're going to get this built back up as it's just started to rain. Little lad's throwing a mix on, and then in a little while, once we've done this, we're going to set some steps out and just start doing some floor prep. Absolutely, what's that on my head? Absolutely brutal day. Rained non-stop, but we got there, reset the wall out, set steps out, and did some internal work what we just needed to sort out for all the joists. Building inspector is booked, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Today we are back on the other job I was setting out on Tuesday. What we're going to do is just finish off all the set out, all the internals, and then start doing some floor prep. So nothing too crazy. Obviously yesterday it was raining from 9 o'clock, I think. So not much filming at all yesterday, just because I couldn't be bothered to get my phone wet and I just needed to get stuck in. You might have noticed, by the way, from the time lapse I did a few days ago, I always go around first setting out the external brickwork, and then I'll come back at a later time to start setting out the internals. Now I know I'm moving twice. I just prefer fully setting things out while I'm fresh in the head in the morning, and then setting the internal skin. All you're doing is just measuring back from the face brickwork, which is now square, level, plumb. So there's just no thinking in it. So when I always turn up to set a job out, I always do the external skin first so I can focus, and then I just chill out in the afternoon setting all the internals out. Right, there we go. We are all wrapped up building both skins of the extension up to finished floor level. So, pretty decent day. Quite steady, which is nice. Like I mentioned, like setting out the external brickwork, face brickwork first, and then just pulling lines. So what I mean by that, what I do, I put a corner block here and a corner block over there, measure back 350mm, and then that's my line, and then just plumb down. The line's already set at the height of finished floor level, and then it's just a matter of running it in. So it's just started raining, so what we're going to do now all the brickwork's done, these are called islands, well that's what we call them. So we've got an island here and a little island over there. We're going to collapse this down, spread it up against the internal brickwork and blockwork, and then we're going to get some stone in. So before I start scraping all these islands off, what I've done, I've just worked out how much infill we're actually going to need. So what I've done, I've taken my finished floor level. From that, I've taken off 100mm of concrete, 100mm of insulation, and then 120mm for 100mm of stone, 20mm of blinding, and then that leaves me with the remainder, what I need to take out, if that makes sense. So let me show you. So at the moment you can see that we've got 365mm. So all this needs in is about 40mm of junk. The island, I can spread that about 40mm. The remainder of what's going to go in there is what I mentioned earlier. That's it for today, that's where we're leaving it. Finished all the brickwork, which is really decent, ready for the building inspector tomorrow. 1.5 tons of stone in this section, and took delivery of steels. So overall, really good day. Had a right good tidy up, and tomorrow we're on another new job. So I'll catch you in the morning. Morning, it is finally Friday, thank God for that. Today we're on a brand new job, and I'm looking at this for the first time. So yeah, it's quite an interesting project. So just been sent a couple of drawings. There's some work to do downstairs. We need to get some steels in. We've got lintel, this old timber lintel coming out here, and we're replacing it with that box section. And then we've got another steel, that one there, going in the web of that joist to here, and then we're bricking this up, and then we're going to be bricking up this chimney. So loads together. Dad. Sorry, I was talking to myself. Yeah. Should be able to get it then. Pass the lump hammer. So we've got this steel in here, and now we're going to put a pad stone there, and then a steel above what's going to be going in the web off that joist there to carry the weight off the floor, and maybe a stud wall above. Not 100% sure myself. Anyway, we're going to get this in now. Chimney progress. Whee! Right, so the hole's formed here. I've marked the steel there, which is 180, and then the padstone, which takes us to 410, and then 410 to bottom of steel is about 620, I want to say. So hopefully it's just a full block here, and then ready for padstone and steel, and then we just need to do the exact same thing over there. Right, there we go. That is where we're actually leaving it for this week. Now, I couldn't get too much filming done today because it was very loud, very dusty, and there was just a lot cracking off. Every time I started something, the foreman pulled me to another side, like another side of the job, and to do something else. I bricked up a steel upstairs to support the chimney, so we quickly did that. Obviously got that steel in first thing, and then we got the other steel in on top of that last thing. What else do we do? Also started blocking up a doorway, took down the rest of the chimney. So yeah, overall a really busy day to finish a really busy, quite successful week. Obviously we set out 2 footings. One we had a little mishap on, but solutions, no problems, got over it straight away. Next week we're going to be setting out another extension, and then going back to the extension I shoved over 225mm to get it up to the first lift. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully I will catch you next week and we'll get some laying done. Anyway, on that note, sound, have a nice weekend. I'll catch you in a bit.